Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and I'm out for a walk in the middle of the desert, and I came across this place that I come across sometimes, which is where there is a big dam. So you can see this big wall here, because the hills back there, when it does rain a lot, this whole place can flood, and there's a whole town over there, so they have to basically protect the town with multiple dams. This is one of the dams, and even though it really hasn't rained that much, still the water does collect here, and you can see all this brown stuff. And that's basically a big field of dock. I believe it's dock or some other similar type grain plant which you can eat. So this is a huge amount of food here ready to harvest. Probably enough to feed me for an entire year. And it's just growing here naturally. So let's get a little closer and take a look at it. Okay, you can see I'm surrounded by this stuff now. That thing out there is a huge structure. So it looks like maybe it's pretty close, but it's really big. It's actually pretty far out there. So this is a lot. This goes way, way down there. And then each of the other dams is going to be the same situation. So this is basically what it looks like when it's all dried. You just harvest it like this. And, you know, it's mainly the seeds you're going for here, but I bet you, like, if you were to cook this well enough, all the flour, you know, the bran type stuff that's around here probably would have some level of nutritional value. And this probably could be food, you know, it's probably not the best food, right? Even if you were going to be eating grains, this probably wouldn't be your ideal grain. You'd want some like processed grain like white rice or rolled oats or something like that. But this will do the job even for a human, but definitely for an animal, right? So again, I didn't plant this. I doubt anyone planted this. Maybe someone came here and planted this a long time ago and it just has kept up. But it's basically like a giant farm that just takes care of itself. So when I find things like this is something that I make note of in my mind so that I know if I ever lose access to food from the standard ways that we get it these days, for whatever reason, that I've got a backup. And if things are getting bad and I know about it ahead of time, get a couple friends, we can come out here, we can pack all of this up into big bags or buckets and be able to basically live off of it for a period of time, okay? So one thing is just finding food that's growing naturally, and this is a pretty good example of that. The other thing would be doing guerrilla gardening, like planting the sunchokes out at the spring in the middle of the desert here, which is another thing that I do. I've made several videos about, and yeah, just basically knowing how to forage. Like, for example, knowing that the prickly pear cactus, which are basically everywhere you go around here and it appear in most states in the United States, are edible. As long as you're willing to prepare them, it's a little bit hazardous. So anyways, there is food out here in case you ever get in a situation where you're in trouble. It may be good if you go and look for it before you actually need to, because you're going to be panicked, you're going to be hungry and low energy, so it's better if you know where to go beforehand. So anyways, thought that was cool. I'll see you guys later.